All right, it's back. The one episode podcast catalog will double in size today. It's the 20th of May 2024. And it's a good day. It's a day where I decide to record another one of these. So, yeah, one episode podcast isn't just one episode after all. Or is it? What I would like to do is treat every time I record my voice, which is basically the essence of what this is, to be treated as a separate thing, right? I don't care about the series. I don't care about the previous episode or the last one. I mean, the second one or the next one. I just care about right now. It's the same as waking up every day and treating that day as all there is. And that's an advice I can give as well. Wake up each day and take some time. Please take some time before you jump into whatever your routine is to decide what you want to do and to choose again, try again. And of course, the only way to physically achieve greatness is to stick to something. But don't stick to something just for the result. Don't want something. Be something. Today I heard someone say, your want is building the world that you don't have. If you say I want, you're basically saying I don't have. So it's almost like there's these two paradigms, these two worlds. The first one is the world of the present now and the person that you are right now. Second one is the world that you're not. You don't want to put emphasis on that world. For me, I don't even want it existing. And I have some confessions to make around that. I have been living my life from a place of wanting in the past months. A very three-dimensional, unintelligent operating system, which has divided me from myself in a bit. I've distracted myself. I was listening to an audiobook by Carl Jung today, and I've written down one sentence. I would love to read it. It's a man who is possessed by his shadow, is always standing in his own light, and is falling into his own traps. In the long run, luck is always against him, because he is living below his level and at best only attains what does not suit him. Right? Do you relate with the feeling of working so hard at something, really wanting something, right? Making a plan, how am I going to get this? I want money, how am I going to get it? Basically saying, I don't have money right now, I'm poor, I want to be rich, I need to be rich, the neediness. And you work so hard that there isn't any other way of achieving something. You will achieve something, and that's so there is progress to be made into the wrong direction, if you understand what I'm saying here, right? So Let's say, so I was really obsessed past months. Well, whenever, to be honest, with money, right? Who isn't? And I'm an entrepreneur. Like I make money myself and I'm playing the game. Let's say if you put your attention into the wrong direction and you want to make money that way. I wanted to make money by hustling into the wrong direction. I hustled so freaking hard because that's what I have. Like I am persistent. I am hardworking. I really take care of myself, enabling me to have physical energy to do a lot of work. I'm a hustler in that way. And I achieve results. But then it happened again. What happened? Well, this identity crisis, like, oh, I really don't feel like this anymore. This feeling of having fulfilled a purpose, the feeling of not caring about it, right? The feeling of being done with it. And then it's like, wow, why am I feeling like this? Like I have said I want this. I've even said it to other people. This is what I'm going to do. And then suddenly like I feel this blockage. What should I do? Force my way through it? No, I really don't want to use force anymore. I don't want to use the unintelligent operating system anymore. So to be honest, like I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. I feel like I'm going through a transformational period where I'm becoming more intelligent, or basically discovering I am intelligent, and most importantly, discovering that I am not using it. So, yesterday, just before I went to sleep, I written down in my notebook is it's so obvious why I am not rich. I am not even giving myself to the world. I'm not even giving 5% of my gift to the world right now. So, how would it need to pay me back? How would it need to pay me back? That's the whole freaking law of attraction, right? It's just a nature law where like you have to put in something. You have to put it in. Another quote I written down the day before is actually by Conor McGregor. He said, oftentimes people believe in certain things, but they keep it to themselves, right? And that hit home really hard. It was like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me, man. And I mean, that's great. Like I love that I'm recording this right now. I love that I'm making a podcast or an audio clip of my voice or whatever you want to call it. And I love that at least one or two people will listen to it because I send it to people. So it feels like already I'm making the step of not keeping it to myself anymore. Like I want to use this podcast to say that I believe in myself and I know I have such great potential. Like everyone. Like everyone. And also, like I've been so judgmental of people not fulfilling their potential or not working hard enough or being lazy or whatever. But here I am, being in my own shadow, standing in my own way. Carl Jung also said for this guy who was in his shadow, if there's no doorstep to stumble over, he manufactures one for himself and then fondly believes he has done something useful, right? Which is kind of like I understand it as thinking you've figured it out, um, not being aware of your own shadow side, not being aware of the part in you that's holding you back, and without that in mind, running into the wrong direction, and then actually believing you're doing well, right? Which you are at that moment, like you are doing, like everything is perfect, right? Like you need to run into a certain direction and fall over and go back in order to have these breakthroughs and breakdowns. So yeah, really nice, really nice. So yeah, Mr. Conor McGregor is right here. Like he as a person is so different than I am. Like he's just all like so braggadocious, and just like saying he's going to achieve these things, right? But also I feel like I have it in me, and everyone has it in them to really know themselves. And once they know it, like also speak it out. Have that confidence and take the risk. It is a risk, like saying these things about yourself and putting them out there, like I'm going to do these things. But then you have that accountability, and then you actually put it into the world, and then God can hear it. And then God can reward you. God basically says, like, if you want it, it's yours. Believe it, and you have it. Not want it, but actually be it. Be it right now, right? So to conclude this episode today, on the 20th of May 2024, what have I learned the past couple of days? Main takeaway is I am not going to receive before I truly start giving. So not giving only the 3% I'm giving right now, but the full 100%. And that's not going to happen through harder work or smarter work. It's going to happen through discovering myself. And also, I already discovered myself, and for the most part, it's just being too afraid to show it. Self express. I know who I am. I know who I am. The world can know as well. And I know that I am worth a lot, but that worth will never come to me if I don't give myself. So that's the takeaway. That's my lesson for today. Start giving yourself to the world. What is your fullest gift? What's your skill of highest contribution? For me, it's realizing my artistic potential. I just know, man. I know I'm capable of making the best music album ever been created. Just the best. And you know why it's the best? Because it will encapture me and who I am. And no one is as good in being yourself as you. No one. You don't want to be competing with people. If you ever find yourself on a pursuit, on an entrepreneurial pursuit, or a desire, fulfilling a desire, to desire is basically to be unhappy until you get what you want. And through desiring and needing something and striving towards something, you will find yourself competing. Ah, that guy's better. Ah, she's better. Her ass is nicer. Whatever it is, don't do that. Like, she or he is not you. It just isn't. And it's just running away from yourself. Who are you? Just look into the mirror. There's this unlimited potential in there. And once you fully realize that potential, then you're the number one, top 1%, top 0.1% in that specific thing. You're the best at being yourself, but you're not yourself. I'm giving this advice. I'm just talking to myself right now, but also to more than 99% of people. You're just not yourself. People are not themselves. We live in this three-dimensional world, a godless world. Man, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, but you only have to see it and only have to realize it and believe in it. So for me, I know like in this podcast, I've not really gone into a lot of material details, but me mentioning creating an album, for example, is a really material example. I know I'm capable of doing it. Whether it's music or a painting, it's probably music because I love music and I've experience in doing it. I have the skill. I know that that's a realm that there's such a high potential in me, but I've been scared to do it. Why was I scared to do it? Why am I scared to do it? Well, because it exposes who I am. Another example, I've been doing singing lessons. Singing lessons for a few months. I quit a while ago. And it has been incredible for me. It has been incredible to open up my that part of my body making sounds in a way I've not done before. Being really vulnerable in front of my singing lesson teacher, and but still so incredibly nervous to do it in front of people I know. And so then it's like, oh, do I do this? Do I make this music? Nah, it's too uncomfortable. Let me just focus on thing with less risk, which is making money, because that's something you can count on a few fingers and something people will understand. And it's something that even I can understand. And man, that's just a shame. Um, I I was possessed by my shadow, and I was standing in my own light, to again quote Carl Jung, falling into my own traps. So yeah, my higher self was really realizing my artistic potential, being an artist, but also spreading my message, spreading my authenticity and purity and realness into the world, and also combining it with the art. This podcast is a really perfect first step for that. This is really like the dawn of what I have to give. And it comes in this chaotic, uncontrolled, maybe even confusing. I don't even know. Like I don't even know if this, if anything I'm saying even makes sense, or if it's just rambling, or I don't know. I also don't really care. For me, this is just a meditation of getting it out there, and no one has to listen. No one has to listen. But just imagine someone listening to this and actually saying, "Wow, like the thing you said about fulfilling my potential, and actually, yeah, I was on the wrong track maybe for a while, and maybe I am not giving everything I have to give." Maybe I have these talents, maybe I have these skills and interests, and this part in my life that gives me a lot of energy, but I'm not designing my life in a way where it comes to fruition and I'm actually serving myself and others, because I'm just doing this job because it pays the bills and I'm scared to switch. So what's it for you? That's my question. What does success look like? When did you feel most alive? What would your family and friends say if you asked the question, when was I at my best? When you saw me and you're like, wow, he or she is really shining right now. And I don't want this to be some like feel good bullshit, but it's really important. It's really what the world needs. The world needs me. The world really needs me. The world needs my true me. And it needs your true you. Everyone in this world is unique. No one is the same. Everyone has something to contribute. People are so insecure they don't even know what it is. And then they're also blaming themselves. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I want. So let me just do something for the sake of doing it. Nah, it's totally okay. It's totally okay to not know who you are, because we live in a world that is deliberately designed to distract you from yourself, right? Look at all these men sitting in football stadiums, just like shouting and screaming, and it's completely distracted. They don't even know who they are at that moment. Their whole identity is exchanged by this persona of being a football supporter. And yeah, it's I get it, man. I love football. It's totally okay, but be conscious of it. What are you doing? Do you even like it? Or is it just all you know? Is it just the only thing that distracts you from who you really are? And is there something you are covering up? Right. So what's it for you? That's the question I ask you. Me, I'm an artist. I know that. I'm an artist. And I'm an influencer. These are the affirmations. I want to speak to myself more and more. I know I'm capable of making great art, and I know I'm able to influence people positively, make a change. And man, it will take a while, maybe, before it will show and before people will understand it. But man, it feels so good to already speak it and to be sure of it and believe in it. And how it shows, I don't know. Well, let's just start with this podcast and let's see what next will come of it.